And joining us with more is Jonathan Schanzer with the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Jonathan, now that the Israeli government has halted peace talks, what happens next?
Well, I think you're going to see a response from the United States already in support of the Israelis for stepping back from the negotiating table, acknowledging the fact that it's going to be difficult for the Israelis to negotiate while Hamas is in the picture. We're hearing rumblings right now from Capitol Hill that there may be some hearings where I think aid to the Palestinian Authority may be put into question. I think there will also be some possible questions raised about the PLO if it does include Hamas in this umbrella organization. It's possible that you could see a redesignation of the PLO, and that's been something that has not happened in a very long time.
You wrote a book called Hamas versus Fatah, The Struggle for Palestine. Do you think this new unity deal will actually bring about cooperation, or will it destabilize the region even more?
Well, I think, first of all, I think we need to note that the Palestinian factions, Hamas and Fatah, have attempted to engage in a marriage like this on multiple occasions. Each time after signing a deal, they have failed to implement it. This time, however, feels a little different. It comes on the heels of failed negotiations sponsored by the United States. This seems like an act of retribution on the part of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. And so I think that if you see this actually come to pass, it will have a destabilizing effect. You will see Hamas influence the PLO in ways that could bring it back to the brink of conflict with the Israelis. That's something we need to watch in the weeks to come.
Jonathan, the United States has been trying to facilitate a two-state solution for more than 20 years, and it seems to have gone nowhere. What do you think is the answer?
Well, I advocate this in a new book that I recently published called State of Failure, and that is that we need to take a more bottom-up approach with the Palestinians. We need to actually help them achieve better governance. We need to have them actually have some achievements under their belt, and that would mean a better political system, a better economy, having a functioning press, having a functioning judiciary. These are all things that we have neglected to ask the Palestinians to deliver over the years. I think if we tried that first and then came to the table with the Israelis, we might have a better chance of achieving something.
Well, what is the likelihood that the Palestinians will ever acknowledge Israel's right to exist?
Well, look, the PLO itself has acknowledged Israel's right to exist. The Fatah faction has been ambivalent, which also happens to be a significant portion of the PLO. And then, of course, you have Hamas, which refuses outright. And so, in other words, you have some ambivalence from within the Palestinian political spectrum. I think it will always be one of these sources of debate. The big question, in my mind, is whether the Palestinians will renounce violence across the board. I think that is a key first step to getting back to the negotiating table with the Israelis. The fact that the PLO, the fact that the Palestinian Authority is willing to welcome Hamas back into its ranks means that they have still not brought an end to this question of whether religiously inspired violence is acceptable in Palestinian society.
All right, Jonathan Schanzer, thanks for your time today, sir.
Pleasure.